Hello and welcome to Rustlock devlog number 11. Starting off, I saw this file was at 800 lines, and in the last devlog, you may have noticed that I was struggling with finding where stuff was. It was like, oh, where's the spawn player movement? Or where's the player movement function? Let me scroll through the entire list. Oh, hey, there's character movement. All right, where's the enemy movement? Scroll through the entire list. Enemy movement, there we are. It's just taking too long, right? So, took a paint file, did some drawing, figured out simple functionality like the player controller uses a mouse, or the player controller spawns the assets from the asset loader, or the asset loader does arrow to enemy controller. I don't know. It's not professional. I didn't try very hard, but it gets the point across. So I decided 3 main files seem to be kind of good enough for what I want to do for the overall game. So that's what I did. This code doesn't matter anymore. We now have this code. We got a main file, interactions. We got stats, which has stuff like all of the components in here, and then you'll see these using crates. That's just pulling the components over. And then, of course, the engine. This is going to have like pathfinding and stuff. We are already at pathfinding. I just scrolled around for no reason. So, on top of all that, the game was not good enough. I was kind of having doubts about it and I was feeling bad, so I just kept working on it, and now it's finally at a point where I'm kind of proud of it and I want to share. First off, I made it so that enemies spawn based on a game timer. So you'll see we have game timer and we have a component for game timer. So now I can start building the entirety of the game based on delta time, so everything is consistent with each other. And then all the enemies are spawning every 10 seconds right now just for testing. On top of that, I made some spawning things. So spawn object at cursor function now has some extra checks in it. First off, it's making the cell color of where your mouse is currently at highlighted. So you'll see the alpha is up as 0.6 when it's highlighted and 0.2 when it's not. That'll just give you a little bit more understanding where your cursor is and where the box will be placed. On top of that, I made this function, or not this function, this if statement, not that one, that's the space, this function that makes it so you can't place the boxes outside of a circle. So you've got a circle around the character, and that's your max spawn range. That way you can't just spawn a mile away, because that's kind of OP. And then I can run the file, or I talk about the next thing. Just to show off the things. I've got the background activated right now. And then, of course, the enemies are all spawning from the center, and they're spawning one at a time. It's kind of starting to feel like a game. Like, we're to the point where it's like, oh, if I put 10 minutes on the timer, you could have a victory screen. You've got enemies to deal with now. So the current problem is the game. I've actually got it on super high max iterations just to lag it out on purpose because I want to show how bad the lag is. So if I close it off, you'll see the enemies are trying to pathfind and they can't find a path to the player, so they're trying their best and it's lagging the game out. And this just gets worse and you have more and more enemies, and when the path gets longer and longer. And of course, I turned the stat up way high to make it apparent that it was doing that. I turned this one up to 50,000. And on the flip side, I will reduce it down to 50. The point of these sets is that I tried to find a sweet spot. Trying to find a spot where it's like I can make a big long maze and have 100 enemies and have it not lag. But it's just too inefficient. It's not good enough. So I've kind of come up with a whole new theory that I'm going to be implementing hopefully in the next devlog. And that will be, instead of pathfinding from every enemy to the player, I want to pathfind from the player outwards. And then whenever it comes across an enemy, that's when it will send the path specifically to that enemy back. So what I want to show here is if I set the max iterations to 50, he's just going to start attacking wall, even though he could clearly walk around the wall. He's just being lazy. And then the reason the other one's bugging out is the bug. I don't know how it works yet. I haven't figured out that bug. Oh yeah, the spawning. You see the circle around the character? If I put my mouse far away and try and spawn, it'll spawn based on the direction of where the mouse is, but it'll still go based on the spawning radius around the character. The circle I drew is not very circular. It's actually not well made, so it kind of looks funky. But yeah, that's the point for that. I also want to make it so that the character is stunned for like half a second every time you place a box. That'll add to the gameplay elements and hopefully make it better. Thank you for listening and watching. This was devlog number 11.